we're going to write the equation for this graph so you can see that hole. This is kind of the trick right here. That hole right there is one of the keys. Is you got to find out exactly what that value is, and sometimes it's hard to tell what that is. It kind of looks like it's -1 comma -1/2, but it's hard to know exactly what it is. Usually these problems kind of work themselves out pretty nicely. So let's write down what we know. We've got x equals -5, x equals 5. Each one of those vertical asymptotes is going to, when we set it equal to 0, it's like reversing the old zero product property is what we're doing there. When I do that, I get my two of the factors of the denominator. The horizontal asymptote is y equals -3, and that tells me that since there's a horizontal asymptote, the degrees of the top and of the denominator and the numerator have to be equal to each other. Degrees of the numerator and denominator have to be equal to each other because there's a horizontal asymptote. Not only that, but the leading coefficients have to be in a ratio of -3 to 1, top to the bottom. We also can see that there's a x-intercept of 2 and another x-intercept of what looks like -2. So that tells me that x plus 2 and x minus 2 are factors of the numerator. So let's start building this. Those are in the numerator. These are in the denominator. The ratio of leading coefficients has to be -3/1. So let's just hope that it's just a -3 in the front. And since I have a hole, what does that mean? That means that there's a factor of x plus 1 because it's at -1. So x equals -1 means that x plus 1 equals 0. But it has to be on the top and the bottom for that to work out like that. So let's hope this is our equation. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a little bit of messing around with that. Let's check if that's right. Well, remember, those things would have canceled. And then what I would have to do is plug -1 in to find out where that hole is. I'd have to plug -1 in to all of these x values and see what it is. That would have given me -3 times 1 times -3 all over, I'm simplifying that, 4 times -6. What's -3 times -3 is +9. -4, or 6 times -4 is -24, so it's -9/24. I can reduce that, divide them each by 3. I get -3/8. That's pretty close. Let's say that that's -3/8, not -1/2. And sure enough, we can say that because there's not exact. So if they specifically told you that was -1/2, there'd be a little bit of a more complicated problem to try to find out exactly what the answer is. But like I said, it usually isn't the way it works. So that's correct. That your answer is -3 times x plus 2 times x minus 2 times x plus 1 all over x plus 5 times x minus 5 times x plus 1. That is your answer.